Hi guys, so the last fragrance house and fragrances I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the House of Begim. So Begim is actually a fragrance house from Uzbekistan. They are fairly new, so I think originally they were launched a while ago, but they actually only released their own fragrances in 2016. And they've only got 10 fragrances in their collection. So one of them is Ruby of Temur, which is in this, they've got one for men and one for women. You've got the Kohinoor Diamond, again, one for man and one for women. You've got the Bukhara Spirit, again, one for man and one for women. You've got Silk Road, one man, one woman. And then the one sample I don't have is a Samarkand Spirit. And again, that one, you've got one for man and one for women. So that's 10 fragrances in their collection. The samples I've actually got with me are all for women. And I wanted to just give you my first impressions on the 4 that I have tried. So I'm going to start off with the Ruby of Temur. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but you know what I mean. So this fragrance is actually really, really nice. This was my number 1 after I smelled all 4 of them. So inside the sample, so I'll show you what the bottle looks like. So that's how the bottle looks. And then you've got the notes written here as well inside the sample pack. So the samples in this one, the notes in this one, you've got Neroli Orange, Petit Grain. Then the mid notes, you've got eucalyptus, sage, cypriol, and amber. And then the base notes, you've got cashmere, agarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla and musk. So when I smelt this fragrance, everything that I just read to you combined made me feel like I was smelling a very sophisticated sweet cherry scent. So there's no cherry in this at all. It's not even mentioned in the notes. And I'm not sure if they've used any cherry to create this fragrance, but everything I just read to you from the notes, when you combine all of that in the opening, it feels like a very sophisticated sweet cherry. Some amber and musk present with a layer of vanilla as well, but I think when I first smelled it and the opening for at least a good 5 to 10 minutes, it smelled like cherry drops. Like, I don't know if any of you had heard of the candy cherry drops. I think they still exist actually, but they were around a lot more when I was younger. But that's what it feels like, but a very sophisticated version of cherry drops. It's absolutely beautiful. Out of the 4, this one was at number 1 for me. So the next I'm going to show you Silk Road. So Silk Road, that is how the bottle looks. And again, you've got the notes mentioned in here. So in this one, you've got top notes of rose, jasmine and freesia. The mid notes, you've got chypre accord, pink pepper and pear. And the base notes, you've got patchouli, cedarwood, sandalwood and musk. So Silk Road is a very beautiful floral scent. Initially, when you first spray it, the jasmine is more prominent with a touch of rose. The jasmine is actually quite soft and refreshing, but after a few minutes, the jasmine starts to go down and the rose becomes a little bit more stronger. At this point, the rose is thick but smooth, but then the jasmine comes back again and starts to equally balance out with the rose. So I found that quite amazing how the rose and the jasmine fluctuate in this scent at the beginning, in the sense that it goes away, but then it comes back again in a few minutes. So you open up with jasmine, then you've got like a balance of jasmine and rose, and then the jasmine goes away, you've got a rose, but then jasmine comes back again. Like, that sounds confusing, but that's exactly how it was. So I found that very intriguing and very interesting, how the notes kind of disappear but then come back again. So I actually find that very creative. So that is the Silk Road. So Silk Road is more around florals, but it's a very beautiful floral scent. And I'm pretty sure that this one for me was at number 2. The Silk Road and the Ruby of Temur I thought were more feminine fragrances. And these two I thought they were more for men, but they've actually been created for women. But I'm going to get to those next. I'm going to do the Kohinoor Diamond. So again, I'll show you how the bottle looks. That's how it looks inside. And then you've got the notes mentioned here. So in this one, you've got top notes of bergamot, pink pepper and saffron, mid notes of oud incense, benzoin and rose, and base notes of vanilla, amber, sandalwood and musk. So with this one, at first I was a little bit confused about what I was smelling. But after a few minutes, I could feel the sandalwood, which was quite prominent, some saffron, some vanilla, and some light musk. It's quite different to your normal women's fragrance. It's more of a classic scent rather than a modern scent. That's what I thought, in my opinion. But as I said, I thought that although this is created for women, I thought that this is probably a bit more suitable for men rather than women. But of course, it depends on your preferences And there is a man version in this fragrance as well, which I haven't tried. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel about that fragrance and if I find that that fragrance is stronger than this. Then last I've got the Bukhara Spirit. So Bukhara Spirit looks like that inside, the bottle. And then you've got top notes of citrus, fruity notes and amber, mid notes of floral and marine, and base notes of musk and woody notes. So to me, Bukhara Spirit was fresh, citrusy and floral in the beginning. And it definitely did not come across harsh despite everything that I just read out to you. So after a few minutes, you can feel some woody notes, but I'm amazed how a combination of fresh, citrus and floral didn't hit a nerve in my nose, because usually it does. I'm quite sensitive to a combination like that, so sometimes I can feel it a little bit more harsh than other people, but this definitely was not harsh at all. After about 10 minutes, you can start to feel the musk in this fragrance. So all 4 of these are very, very smooth fragrances. They're not typically Middle Eastern and they're not typically Western either. Each is beautifully unique and very different to one another, and that's what I liked about them. To me though, they are 100% worth trying, even if it's just a sample, because as a fragrance lover, these are definitely a must try because they're very different, as I said. They're very unique and they're not typically Eastern and they're not typically Western either. They are like exactly in between and they are not harsh. They are very, very smooth. Said the first 2, which are these 2 over here, I thought were more feminine, whereas the last 2, I thought they were more, I'm going to say unisex actually, because I can't say they were just for a man. A woman can also wear it, but I thought they were more unisex rather than just for women. The men's versions I haven't tried yet, but hopefully I will do soon, because I'm interested to see how they differ to these and how I think they come across. So these were of course sent to me from Accolade Parfums. Thank you very much for these samples, because I hadn't smelled fragrances from this house before. So it was very kind of you to introduce me to this fragrance house and to give me the opportunity to smell these, try these out and review them. Guys, if you want to review these fragrances as well, if you want to try them out or get a sample, then definitely contact Accolade Parfums. They have a website. Again, I will try to link it in the description box below if I remember when I upload this video. If not, then you can always check them out on Instagram, because they do have a page. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, you will find them in my page as well. I tag them in quite a few posts, and I will be tagging them in this post as well once it's up. So if you have any questions, then do drop in the comments box below. Otherwise, thank you for watching today's video, guys, and I'll see you guys soon.